So it's been a pretty hot minute since I last uploaded anything Demon Slayer related, and I'm not gonna lie to you lot, it was simply because I genuinely did just stop reading it. It's not so much that I got bored of it, I just sort of got caught up in other manga and stuff that I was just doing in life. And you know, obviously I didn't want to read a volume and not like film a video on it and edit it, etc, etc, so I didn't even allow myself to just binge it all and not make videos about it. But all that being said and getting it out of the way, we are here with volume 18 today because I finally finished it, and you can expect volume 19 soon because I'm getting this shit out the way. We kick off volume 18 in the middle of the fight between Akaza, Giyu and Tanjiro, and whilst Tanjiro and Giyu are giving it their all, they're giving it their best, and you know, they're not doing awful, they're not dead, they're still alive, they are definitely not winning the fight. Like Akaza, he's like, you wouldn't even think the man was putting in effort, right? And in typical Demon Slayer anime slash manga fashion, plot armor kicks in, and just when all hope seems lost and everything is bleak, Tanjiro finally unlocks his sort of access to the transparent world, which is still a really weird concept to me, right? Especially like the 2-page spread, like everything just looks all skeletal and like you can see organs and like blood vessels and stuff. Very creepy, very weird, but I understand like the technique. And Tanjiro got the upper hand on Akaza by using a technique that he called the Hinokami Kagura Setting Sun Transformation, which he used to decapitate Akaza. And that's it. Or so you would think. So Akaza's head disintegrated, like it just, well no, he tried to put it back on and then Giyu threw his sword, but it's irrelevant. His head disintegrated and his body didn't. His body was still standing, which was very confusing because if his head's gone, why is his body not gone? The wounds on his body started to heal and close up, and the neck wound from where he had been decapitated had sealed completely, and the body had kept fighting even though the head was gone, it was missing. So it was clear that Akaza was trying to become something else, like some other creature. Like Muzan, he was trying to make his weakness something that wasn't his head. So this is where we actually get a look into Akaza's backstory, which is quite upsetting, quite sad, quite dark. I do not think it excuses the things that he did. I definitely think it explains them quite well. So we see that from the young age of just 11, he was a repeat offender with numerous marks on his arm, like tattoos signifying that he was a criminal. And we find out the reason for all this naughty behaviour is because his dad is sick, very, very sick, and because they're poor, they can't afford medicine. Anyway, once Akaza gets arrested again, his father unfortunately hangs himself, and young Akaza, Hikuji, doesn't take this very lightly. He walks into the town and he attacks everyone that he sees, more or less. He beats 7 adults with his bare hands, no weapons, and this is where a man by the name of Keizo comes around the corner to confront young Hikuji, and Hikuji attacks him. The man knocks him out, and less than an hour later he wakes up in a dojo with that same man. So the man introduces himself as Keizo. He is a dojo master of the Soryu style, I believe, and he makes a deal with young Akaza, basically stating that you can stay here, you can live here, you can learn from me, but you have to nurse my sick daughter Koyuki, who was only 2 years younger than Hikuji at the time. Hikuji accepts this offer because he spent his whole childhood looking after his dad anyway, so it wasn't much different to what he was used to. But he eventually falls in love with Koyuki, and they plan on getting married, right? They get proposed, but unfortunately, shortly after, Keizo and Koyuki would both be poisoned to death by a rival dojo after some drama between them that was briefly covered. He retaliates, he kills all 67 members of the rival dojo with his bare hands, and the scene was so gruesome that the official record was actually wiped away and disposed of as fabrication because it was that unbelievable what young Akaza did. We then see him walking on a bridge covered in blood where Muzan appears and turns him into a demon. His headless body that's still fighting, he commits suicide, right? He kills himself, he destroys his own body using the technique that he used to kill Rengoku, and we see him pass on into the afterlife peacefully. Like, I assume that's what those pages were anyway, and that is the end of Akaza, that is the end of the fight. Tanjiro and Giyu pass out, and that is it for that fight. We then move on to Doma and Kanao. So, Kanao basically starts off just by trying to intimidate Doma and make fun of him, basically saying that, you know, you guys, like you demons, you can't feel anything. You can't feel joy, happiness, pain, sadness. What's the point? Like, why are you even alive? It's a meaningless existence. You guys are pointless creatures. a fight basically kicks off, and to be fair, Kanao holds her own very, very well against Doma, I will say that. However, Doma eventually overpowers her and steals her sword away by using a variety of different techniques, all of which were drawn really, really well. I just want to point that out, and obviously I'll put some pictures up on the screen for you guys to see. In proper anime plot armor fashion, when all seems bleak, when all hope seems gone, and Kanao seems to be almost defeated by Doma, Inosuke appears, fixes one of her injuries, engages Doma in combat, even takes Kanao's sword back for her. And then as combat ensues, we see Inosuke get his mask taken away by Doma, and Doma recognizes his face. Now, Doma delves into his memories and discovers why he recognizes Inosuke's face, and this is because Doma was the person who murdered Inosuke's mother. Inosuke's mother, who went by the name of Kotoha, fled an abusive marriage with young Inosuke when she was only about 17, 18. She had him quite young. She fled to Doma's palace, where Doma basically accepted her into what was basically his cult, and she was loyal. She followed him, she trusted him, she approved of him, and then she found out that he was eating his followers and she ran away. She was chased after by Doma. Doma killed her, and he assumed that she had thrown little baby Inosuke off of a cliff. Inosuke survived, he grew up, and now we are in the present fighting against Doma. And that is pretty much it for volume 18. So, I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you haven't read Demon Slayer, number one, why are you watching this video? Massive spoiler alert, a bit late for that though. Number two, go and read it, and if you don't want to read it, at least go watch the anime. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. This is Toshiro, signing out.